The 4th of July is one of the most celebrated holidays in the United States, with over 80% of Americans celebrating in some way by spending time with family, barbecuing, going to parades, or watching fireworks. It is a very joyous day for Americans, which makes the mass shooting during the 4th of July parade in Highland Park, Illinois, all the more shocking. Join me while we look into the case of Robert Crimo III and what led to this unexpected shooting. Robert Crimo III was born on September 20th, 2000 to his parents Bob Crimo III and Dennis Pacina. Both of his parents were successful local business owners, which provided Robert with a comfortable lifestyle in Highland Park. Even though Robert lived comfortably, he did not have a great childhood. Before the age of 2, Robert's mother left him alone in a car with the windows rolled up for almost a half hour in August, one of the hottest months of the year. She was arrested and charged with child endangerment and ordered to undergo an evaluation at a child advocacy center. The neglect did not end there. It was stated that during Robert's school years, he and his brother would play sports, and their parents were typically late to pick them up after school, and even in some instances forgotten entirely, with the parents being extremely hard to reach and contact. The boys would end up being the last children after school, with the director of the sports program having to stay with them until their parents finally showed up. Along with this neglect, Robert's parents had also had a lot of domestic problems. Between 2009 and 2014, the police were called around 24 times to the Crimo home. Some of those calls involved domestic violence. Most of the time, the issues were believed to involve alcohol. All of this turmoil at home resulted in Robert becoming very quiet and reserved. He only hung out with a small number of friends or spent a lot of his time on his computer. Robert began accumulating an online following with random videos that he and his friends would make. They included skateboarding videos, video montages, and music videos. In Robert's early teens, he began making music. He dropped out of high school before his junior year and spent his time on social media promoting his music. He became an aspiring artist and rapper on YouTube and even Spotify with more than 16,000 monthly listeners. A lot of Robert's rap songs reference violence, guns, and mass shootings. There were videos that showed cartoon gunmen pointing large rifles as well as figures spurting blood. Things only got worse for Robert when his close friend died of a heroin overdose in 2017. After his death, Robert became even more of a recluse, spending more time alone. In 2019, the police were called to the house after a report stating that Robert was attempting to kill himself with a machete. The police did not pursue the issue, stating that it is being handled by mental health professionals. 5 months later, the police were called again to the house after a family member reported that Robert pledged that he would kill everyone. The police removed a box of 16 hand knives, a 12-inch dagger, and a 24-inch samurai-type sword. The police found no reason to arrest him after seizing the weapons. The weapons were later returned to Robert's father after he claimed they were his. After this incident, the police filed a clear and present danger report with the state police, which police and teachers are required to do if they think somebody poses a threat to the public and shouldn't be allowed to purchase or own a gun. In December of 2019, Robert applied for a permit to own a gun, and his father sponsored this application for the permit. Robert received a firearm owner's card, and now he was legally allowed to purchase guns. He went on to purchase 2 rifles, a couple of pistols, and reportedly even a shotgun. He now had the perfect weapon to plan out his 4th of July attack. Even though he started planning his attack weeks prior, there is believed to be no motive for the attack. The day of the attack, Robert got dressed into women's clothing to hide his identity before and after the attack. He took his Smith & Wesson M and F-15 semi-automatic rifle and more than 80 rounds of ammunition and headed to the 4th of July parade. He used a fire escape to climb atop a downtown building where he planned to carry out the attack. He then opened fire into the crowd of unsuspecting families. After the shooting, he then went down the fire escape and blended into the crowd of people before walking to his mother's house and taking her car. He then drove to Madison, Wisconsin, where he contemplated attacking another 4th of July celebration. He decided against this and headed back to Illinois, where he was arrested and taken into custody. 7 people lost their lives in this attack, with over 40 others being injured. The victims include Catherine Goldstein, who was 64, Eduardo Ulaldo, who was 69, Jacqueline Sundhelm, who was 63, Stephen Strauss, who was 55, Nicholas Teldo Zaragoza, who was 78, Irina and Kevin McCarthy, who was 35 and 34, who were with their 2-year-old son, who was unharmed and found wandering alone after the panic settled. Robert was indicted on 117 counts, with 21 of those being for first-degree murder, 3 for each person that he killed, 48 counts of attempted murder, and 48 counts of aggravated battery with a firearm for each victim who was struck by a bullet, bullet fragment, or shrapnel. This is 5 Minute Crimes. Be sure to subscribe to get updated on future videos. I have also created a Discord where I am fairly active on, as well as a Patreon where I post updates for current videos as well as things related to cases that I cannot post on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.